Okay, so video on the targeted individual program just woke up. You hear that? So these motherfuckers, right? Making, well, you know, I said yesterday they're making stupid noises and shit. Yeah, motherfucker just goes cuckoo, right? It's faggots, man. I'm telling you. So, yeah. I mean what I said in the video, last videos. Once again, when you're going through this, they try to play, you know, the crazy themes. So the cuckoo. One thing they used to do with me is they used to go past me and go, what did they used to do now? A certain whistle that implies that you're crazy. I can't remember the exact one, but it'll come to me. But you know, they constantly do this kind of shit. These motherfuckers, man. You know, so once again, using builders to try and, some of the builders anyway, to try and target me, right? Motherfucker just goes cuckoo. I hope this fucker picked this up. But yeah, it's like they try to send all these kind of subliminal messages this way, right? So they're fucking stupid, man. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers are fucking stupid as fuck. And they think that they're fucking smart. They're like, bitch, please, come on. Oh, let's try it. Gone quiet. Yeah. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I was trying to think of that thing they used to do. I can't think of it right now. But they used to do some certain whistle that implied that amount. But anyway, as you can hear, they brought the radio up now. Yeah, and that's funny, isn't it? That's not been up till today. As soon as they arrived today, I noticed in their voice they sound pissed off. Because these motherfuckers probably watch my videos, right? The Perps, that is, amongst them. I've noticed that a lot in the past where people, I think, are involved. The regular ones, you make a video and then the next day they will seem pissed off, right? It's because they watch your videos. So, you know, they're going a bit easier today. It's like I was on the phone with my mum and, you know, I'm like, you know, they were being, I just said, you know, they're being reckless and dropping shit without any care. Heavy stuff too, it sounded heavy. And she's like, oh, well, it's just the job, you're not a roofer, you don't know what to do. But I can tell when people are doing jobs recklessly and without care. You can just tell by how it sounds, you know? So, yeah, obviously with my family, Catholic, of course, they're the turn the other cheek type, so they could probably fire a grenade launcher into the roof and they'd be like, oh, it's just part of the job. So, yeah, that's the kind of shit, you know, that you deal with. I was brought up with this turn the other cheek shit all my life, but that gets you killed. And you let people get away with stuff. And I used to do it. I used to forgive them and give them the benefit of the doubt, but I don't anymore. You know what I mean? be like, oh, you're a bad person, or you'll be the ones fucking one of the biggest right brainwashing tactics that the Catholic religion has done is to make you so passive that you will let your enemy stomp on you. I believe they've done this to make them completely controllable and abusable. So you can turn the other. What are you gonna do? Turn the other cheek when they've got a gun pointing at you? And when the government's trying to round people up, what are you gonna do? Turn the other cheek? I prefer the other line from the Bible. May he who does not have a sword sell his clothes to get one. That's the shit I'm on. So I prefer the Old Testament shit to the New Testament shit. I mean, I don't believe in the Bible 100% word for word. I don't even know if Jesus is real. I have my doubts. I'm like 80% in doubt right now whether Jesus is real or not, because, you know, it's hard to know. Maybe there was someone, it could have been called Alabadabadabadu for all we know. You know, because history gets fucking changed so much. It may not even be called Jesus. And like I said, I have my doubts. I believe in God, and that's unshakable. So, regrettably, I want to say, you know, actually, no, I'm not going to say on this. I might say in the future, but I'm not going to say right now. Put it this way, something bad's happened, so, yeah. Because they stop making noise now, right? Because they're not making a video. I spoke too soon, but they are. But this is the kind of shit these motherfuckers do, right? When the same thing happened in Sheffield, when I used to have the windows cleaned, right? They would just making stupid noises. They were playing sirens, right, on the phones outside my flat, right? In the morning, they'd come up on the ladders, and I would hear siren noises being played on the phones, right? Because, you know, that's something they used to target me with, the ambulance sirens and all that shit, right? Really ridiculous, but yeah, there you go. So, yeah, you know, it's the kind of stuff we have to deal with on a daily basis. Once again, yesterday, using the police, trying to send subliminal threats with that subliminal message, court or whatever it said on the number plate, court or something. Yeah. And this is like what they did in the pub too. They were getting people to sing like that in the pub. Right. So these motherfuckers, right, it's just a constant theme that they do with people around you. There'll be people doing certain things repetitively, like that, yeah, to try and fool you and condition you negatively to what they're doing. That's part of what they do. They'll do everyday things like that are slightly annoying, but in repetitive, like say whistling. You know, I used to have loads of people whistling around me, still do sometimes. You know, coughing. It's all to annoy you and harass you. So, it's like stereo mob nowadays. You know, it's like very subtle things like that. I mean, yeah, they builders sometimes use radios, yeah, but how come it's only today that it's come up, and all the rest of the times it wasn't? Yeah. So, yeah, my dad's coming over later, 10ish I think, so it's 9:20 now, or nearly 9:30. So yeah, I mean, it's funny, you know, it is funny how they do this kind of stuff, and it's like when you retaliate, they, you know, basically, or especially if you are exposing it or recording, it goes quiet or it reduces. It's noticeable, very noticeable, because they warn them when you're exposing to be careful. For me, since I got my camera up and running again, well, a new camera, targeting has become very, very subtle in nature. Still blatant, but to passers-by, not as so. But to me, very blatant, you know, because they condition you to certain things through dark NLP. So, and they try to play me off as crazy, fine, but I'm not the one deliberately trying to harass someone repetitively because I've been told to and I don't even know the guy, you know. So who's crazy? Who's insane here? Right? They'll never convince me that I'm crazy, no matter how many times they run that theme. They can try with the going cuckoo all they want, or whatever the fuck these motherfuckers want to do. It's not gonna fucking work, because I'm used to it with these motherfuckers trying to do that shit. So it's ridiculous, man, the lengths they get these people to go. But there you go. As said before, I will be making a video about that shooter in the US who is being harassed by. I will be doing my full research and my view on what happened. I've already made a quite clear decision on pretty much what panned out, but I will be researching. No, I was watching Secure Team's video was talking about these weapons being used in Cuba. Right? They're being used beyond Cuba. They're being used in the US, in the UK, in Europe. When I was in Tenerife, I was constantly getting a headache to the point I felt like I was gonna black out from dehydration. And I was drinking enough, but I was constantly getting a headache there. Okay? And it stopped as soon as I went back to the UK. They were hitting me with something. I don't know what it is, but something. Because it's not happening here. The same feeling is not here. Like, yeah, I'm still getting the directed energy in my body and all that, but that was different. That was some stronger shit. So, yeah. But you know, it's like, we've got to keep exposing this. Then that's RT said to me the other day, I believe, you know, we are making, movements and getting more exposure to what's going on. And I believe that's correct too, because the targeting is very it's stepping up a lot more, put it that way. They're getting more, seem to be anyway, I've noticed it on all TIs, the targeting is stepping up, whether it's nappy head roofs, whether it's RT, or Nigel is stepping up. It's getting heavier. They're getting more desperate and they're panicking. So, sorry about the noise with the spoons. I just got a cup of tea. I know they have used that as a way to target people, so I apologise about that. But basically, in war, if you look at the history of war, when an enemy starts doing crazy stuff, like with the Japanese, when they started killing themselves, and this is the same mentality. These are fanatics you're dealing with here that are in this program. They are fanatics, right? They've done all kinds of things to put their life in danger to try and target me. Right? These are fanatical people, just the same as Al Qaeda or ISIS or ISIL or whatever you want to call them. And the US government creates fanatics. It created, make no mistakes, they funded and created ISIS and ISIL. They've got US weapons, tow missiles, M16s, the latest stuff, right? And yeah, the stupid noises again. Right, so it's fine. They can do that. It's good. This gives you an example of the shit these motherfuckers do. So they'll do anything to, and it's just making me laugh, man, because it's just pathetic. It's very pathetic and childish. These people, they get very childish with the stuff they do. To me, they try to play it off as they have the upper hand a lot of times, but when they do stuff like this, when they go to these lengths, I know that they're desperate. Yeah, that they're not happy because they go into some lengths right now. But anyway, as I said, ISIL, even the Taliban were owned by the US. They would call them Mujahideen originally. So they create these groups. Sometimes they lose control of them. Other times they create them deliberately to destabilize a region, right? You look at the Middle East. They've destabilized nearly the whole of the Middle East. Only countries like Iran are really strong enough to resist because they're supported by Russia, right? And Iran used to be an ally of the US. But once again, the US has a dictator in charge. They get overthrown. And then, because why do you think the US wants to take Iran away so bad? It's because they're the strongest independent Middle Eastern country that's not Western influenced. It's all about domination. Same with North Korea. It's not because they're a dictatorship or they have nuclear weapons. It's because they have nuclear weapons and they're not a part of the Western way of things. Just like with Vietnam, when they invaded Vietnam. It was about control. Right? There's a word for it. Not colonial. I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word. But yeah, imperialists. That's it. The imperialists. That's what they are. The imperialists. It's about an empire. It's basically what they're trying to do, create an empire. And you say, oh wow, they don't have that. Well, Israel is pretty much under America. It's all about control. They don't have to be in the country as long as they got it under their thumb and a puppet leader in place. It's their property. That's what it's about. Instead of having US troops or UK troops in a country where, you know, they will be enforced and there'll be a UK government style or US government style, then they'll have the government there. It'll look like it's independent, but it's not. Right. So that's the kind of stuff and tactics the governments and stuff are doing. You know. Yeah. But yeah, it's like people don't see it, don't understand it.